Poorest towns in England, South Kirkby. South Kirkby appeared in one of our recent videos about the poorest towns in the UK. It's in the 10th position on that list, but we have one challenge that we want to address now. We struggled to decide which of the facts about South Kirkby to keep out and which ones to add to the discussion. Interestingly, we've taken it upon ourselves to be analysing the poor towns in England one after the other. Thus, we believe some of those facts left out in that video can be included in this one dedicated to South Kirby as one of the poorest towns in England. We don't intend to make this video a rundown, but an attention grabber. South Kirkby in perspective. South Kirkby is a town in the City of Wakefield in West Yorkshire. This town is governed locally by the administration of South Kirkby and Moorthorpe Town Council. South Kirkby forms half of its civil parish. It's often considered alongside Elmsall when ranked regarding factors indicating or contributing to poverty. Note, therefore, that most of what will be said about South Kirkby applies also to Elmsall. The towns, whose motto is friendship, unity and progress, appears to have forgotten or to be giving less attention to the third word, progress, in its motto. And if at all it's making progress, it's only toward poverty. You're likely going to see rejections and denials of the facts we're about to unfold about this town. We expect that the town council and individual stakeholders there may be inclined to defend their town and action in governing the town. We understand. Why we focus on Kirkby. Sincerely, we came across Kirkby when we realised that it's more prominent than its size on the crime data record for the United Kingdom. We were tempted to add it to the list of the most dangerous or crime-ridden towns, but that's a discussion for another day. Yet we love to tell you what has been discovered by various bodies researching crime rates in South Kirkby and Moorthorpe. The average crime rate for 2021 in the town was 119 crimes per 1,000 people. When this is placed side by side with West Yorkshire's overall crime rate, it fares so poorly, even though the overage of that county is bad at 113 crimes per 1,000 residents. Yet, the rate in Kirkby and Moorthorpe is 5% higher. The same source indicates that for the whole of England, Wales and Northern Ireland, South Kirkby and Moorthorpe is the 51st most dangerous small town. And when placed in the context of all the cities, towns and villages, it is the 372nd most dangerous. Take the month of September 2021, for instance, for shoplifting. South Kirkby and Moorthorpe had the highest rate among small towns in West Yorkshire, with 32 crimes reported. And the rate was 2.8 shopliftings per 1,000 inhabitants. Another rampant crime was bicycle theft in this town, as little as it is. The rate of this was more conspicuous in August 2021 when it was named the most dangerous small town in West Yorkshire for bicycle theft. It recorded 2 incidents, giving a rate of 0.17 thefts per 1,000 residents. But more worrisome is possession of arms in South Kirkby and Moorthorpe. In November 2021, it received 3 reports of possession of weapons. This makes it the most dangerous small town that possesses weapons in West Yorkshire that month. Still on crime, the most common crimes, however, in South Kirkby and Moorthorpe up till now are violence and sexual offences. The small town reported 585 offences in 2021. Given that rate, 50 of such offences were committed in 1,000 residents. That was 5% higher than 2020's figure of 554 offences, giving a difference of 2.66 per 2020's crime rate of 48. These figures may at first appear tiny. Nevertheless, when the rates are compared with the ones in other towns of similar sizes and structures as South Kirkby, you will see that it is contesting for the rank of the most dangerous town. The crime situation begs an important question, however. Why is the crime rate very high in South Kirkby? When we beamed our searchlight on the town to ascertain the reasons, we found that it's not unconnected with its rate of poverty. Discussion about how poor this town is, we will consider discoveries from the English Indices of Deprivation for 2019, which is the latest. We acknowledge that a few changes may have occurred, yet the town has not improved remarkably to render those statistics outdated. Index of Multiple Deprivation. In most cases, if there is anything changed in the condition of poverty domains in this Index of Multiple Deprivation, the IMD, it is for the worse. And that's certainly something to be taken into account by anyone considering moving to this area of Wakefield for business, leisure or accommodation. You also need to remember the data provided by the IMD is from the official measure of deprivation in the country. The ranking considers every small area or neighbourhood in every city and town as Lower Super Output Area (LSOA). These areas are scored from 1 to 32,844 in the case of England. So how has South Kirkby fared in the latest rankings on IMD? After combining data from 7 domains to arrive at the overall relative measure of deprivation in an area, we found South Kirkby as one of the most deprived, hence poorest areas in not just Wakefield, West Yorkshire or England, but the entire UK. Now let us illustrate our point by considering the IMD domains of education income, education, skills and training, disability, and probably more about crime in South Kirkby. Education, skills and training deprivation. South Kirkby, according to the latest data collected via the last census for the United Kingdom, has a lot of residents with either no qualifications or qualifications equivalent to 1 or more GCSE at grade D or below. The average education, skill and training rank for children in South Kirkby is 5,899 in 32,844. For adults in the town, the rank is 2,920 from 32,844. This education deprivation shows that many of the residents lack skills and training that are crucial to enhance their earning capacity. And when there are many people in a community with low earning capacity, the town is bound to be among the poorest in the country. Kirkby's rating is 8 out of 10, and we know that is bad. So consider next what the employment rate gives us. Employment. While looking at the proportion of working-age residents in South Kirkby vis-à-vis those employed among them, you would see that it is an employment-deprived town. A substantial number of them are either in the job market as they are involuntarily deprived of work or unable to work due to sickness, disability or caring. The figures for unemployed people that we have in South Kirkby contradict one another, so we won't give you any since governmental authority no longer does so. Considering the Universal Credit Scheme, however, the location has so many claimants and few jobs. And what impact does this have on income levels in South Kirkby? Income. To put this in context, what's generally considered income deprivation is when people are not earning or earning too low because they are out of work for any reason in addition to being unemployed. We also reckon with those who may qualify for benefits such as universal credit or legacy benefits like working tax credits. Many people in this small community fall into this category. And do you know the relationship between poverty and health? Health. This is not to say the residents of this city have health challenges that are quite obvious, but their risk of dying prematurely or having their quality of life impaired through poor physical or mental health is high in South Kirkby. The IMD domain data about morbidity, disability and premature mortality in this town is appalling. We just have to balance things up and avoid tilting to one side. There are plenty of accommodations in South Kirkby and these are largely affordable. Yet these houses are not the kind that will be in high demand. This is because they are in a town with little and poor access to local services. We also observed that the bad rating the town has in its income-deprived ward could be due to poorly maintained rented accommodation, which is cheap anyway. And bad rating in the town's non-income-deprived area would be due to the small size of housing in relation to costs the selling or rent. In spite of all that, the outside environment of South Kirkby is not bad at all. While passing through the town, if you do not fall victim to any sort of crime, you won't have an idea of how poor the town is. We are so much interested in what you have heard or seen about this town. Please tell us in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.